Hello there. We're back on Mondays. It's awesome. I'm glad to be done doing Thursdays. That does mean we have some quick turnaround time on our reviews. Or like on the streams, like back to back. But you know what? That's okay. That's to get back to where we were originally. We're doing more Anderillium inks today. Next week we'll be finishing them off. If I don't just talk about Triangle next week, we'll see what next week brings. It all depends. But yeah, we're into the second half of the Anderillium inks. So far, they've all been pretty crap. We'll see what these two look like. Yeah, this one. So we're starting off with the Colossal. I've been interested in this one because this one, it looks black on your screen, but it's actually a very, 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 very dark teal. And if it cooperates in the pens, then it might be a Lamy Petrol dupe, but it could also still behave like shit. So, yeah. Sorry, I thought Aqua was getting out of her cage for not her cage, the blanket for a minute there. That's a Lamy converter. There we are. I'm going to move this over to the side. And then I need to get the sample. Oh, come over here. One of my students just threw me for a loop with like scheduling and content and stuff where it's nothing I can't handle. It's just that it just happened. So I'm just like, my brain's like, okay, how handle? And I need to handle it within the next 24 hours or so. Like I said, doable. But it was just like, why has this just... Like, it started on Thursday, on Wednesday, life going haywire, and it hasn't stopped. Yesterday was nice. Yesterday I purposely was like, for once I don't have any students on a Sunday, because most schools are out. Basically, my only remaining students are online students, so I was like, cool. I actually took a break yesterday. Played Stardew Valley, watched some TV. It was nice. And then we're back to, and I thought we were calm, and then, like I said, the email happened today. Okay. So, fun thing about Memorial Day is that newspapers tend to be out of fucks for writing stuff about newspapers for holidays. There it is. So we have a very amusing article today about how a pecan farm is mad at the Army or the Air Force. I don't know. A pecan farmer in South Georgia is mad at some military institution for some like petty reason too. So yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to be done with these Anderillium inks. Even for inks I'm excited about, doing them all doing a bunch of inks in a row of the same does get old for me, like those Jacques Arbon inks, even though I really liked them and use them. After I got through a bit, I'm just like, I just want to be done. Those Jacques Arbon inks. And those were good inks. These inks are shit. So I'm like, can we not? Oh yeah, that is like out of focus. Okay. Okay, so let's see how they go. So this one's looking better than the other couple so far. It's not as spready, but I expected that because this one behaved the best during swabbing. When I say behaved the best, it like actually stuck to all the dip pens and stuff and didn't feather like crazy. So I don't know. It's not a low bar. It's not a low bar to. Or it's not a high bar to clear. There we are. Let's see. So like I said, this one's looking better. It still looks really flat. All the other ones have looked really flat, like they've tried to shade, but like they weren't allowed to. This one has that same quality, even though it is dark. Also, there's minor feathering already on this in Tomoe River in a dry pen. I should probably angle this down so you guys get the scritch. Yeah, you can actually see the color here. You could see that it's a darker teal, unlike in the swab. But like I said, I've already got minor feathering. What does the back look like? Don't really have a couple spots of bleed through. Remember, this is Tomoe River paper, so it shouldn't be doing that. But compared to the other ones in this set, that's a high bar to clear. Is not bleeding on Tomoe River. It's just ridiculous. Aqua. Oh, and it just like splattered out of my pen. Great. Hold on. I'm gonna get Aqua. Say hi to the camera, Kiwaz. Yes. You're very cute. We'll put you in your cage. Okay, Aqua's in her cage. But yeah, that just splattered all over my desk just from not just like moving the pen. Great. It's like so aggressively lubricated that it just doesn't stay in the pens. It just is like blah. But yeah, so far this one's the most passable of the colors, which is what I expected. Ooh, apparently this pecan farmer is getting tiny metal shards dropped onto his trees from an Air Force base. That's fun. Yeah, this one's also, that regular pen also feathered slightly. The spread on this ink is also pretty bad. Again, not as bad as the other ones. But still worse spread than you would want on Tomoe River. Okay. So I hate that we have to do this with all these Anderillium inks, but now let's see what the bleed through's like. Because yeah, the feathering's pretty bad on the wet pen. That we have to do this on Tomoe River is not great. Okay, it does get progressively worse, as you would imagine. Like, those dark spots are bleed through. It's not show through. Like, that is bleed through in the wet pen. That's pretty similar to the bobtail squid one. This one definitely has, all the rest of these definitely had worse spread though. Like, this has definitely been the most behaved one so far. Minimal feathering on Tomoe River, minimal feathering, minimal spread on Tomoe River, minimal bleed through on Tomoe River. The fact that like we have to clear these bars of I don't bleed through Tomoe River is ridiculous. But you know, there you are. Yeah. So now we'll do Kikuyo. You can see the stuff for Kikuyo from last time. Yes, these lovely, lovely inks. Okay, time for Kikuyo. I'm more interested at this point in this Pecan Farmer versus Air Force Base debacle. Where was I in the article? Oh man. That's some really bad spread. This is a fine nib, by the way. It feels like I'm writing with like at least a medium. Or like it feels like sometimes I'll occasionally, especially in this pen, I don't know why in this pen in particular, but I'll occasionally get like a piece of fiber or something stuck in the nib. And that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm writing with like something extra stuck in the nib. But I'm not. It's just really like spouting wet ink. Okay. The more I get into this, the more I'm just amused where it's like local pecan farmers mad at the Air Force Base. Yeah, this is just like all the other ones. I had higher hopes that this one would behave better because it behaved better in the swatch, but no. I mean, it does behave relatively better than the other four so far, but like, it's still bad. Okay. Yeah, that just looks so flat. And feather, like, it almost isn't feathering as bad on the Kikuyo as it did on the Tomoe River. Like I said, I think the lubricant aspect has, oh yeah, and then you can see all the blade spots. Yeah, not as bad as the previous one, but still blade spots. But I think that whatever lubricant they're using is related to the chemicals, or like has the same chemical effect as some of the gel ink pens. One of the components in a lot of gel ink pens will eat through the coating on Tomoe River and just like destroy that paper. So that's what I think is going on here, is that we have a similar chemical reaction with whatever lubricant they're using. Because it honestly performs worse on Tomoe River, it seems, than it does on like Kikuyo or Rhodia. It's still bad. Don't get me wrong. It's bad on all of them. Hey, Raoul. We're into the dark ones of this squid inks. But yeah. So far, this Colossal, as anticipated, is better than the rest of them. It's still not good, but it's better. It still feathers on Tomoe River. It bleeds a little bit on Tomoe River. Not as bad as the other ones. Like I said, it's the best behaved so far, but it's the best behaved of a bunch of bad inks. In particular, in this Waterman, it's just like a marker. Like, when I first uncapped it after filling it, it was like you have blobs of ink all over your desk. And I'm like, that's great. That's fine. That's all fine. Cue the meme of the "It's all fine on Fire Dog." That one. That's how I feel about these inks. Which is a shame because they do have some nice colors in here. Like, I do like this color of Colossal Squid Dark. And I liked the bobtail squid green, like this one. That's a good green. I don't have a good match for that in my collection. I have a lot of greens. But it's just so shitty. The performance is so bad. Yeah, I don't know how well that comes across, but that is... It's not just black. It does have like a teal component. It's one of those not quite blacks. Cool. I don't have that ink, so I'm not able to compare. Like, I wasn't arguing with Evgeny on that one. I was like, cool, I literally do not have that ink. Please tell me. I don't have that one either. As much as I review inks, I actually don't have the largest collection out there. I only have like 200 or so. Which sounds like a lot of inks to lay people, but it's not in the grand scheme of things. I think Robert Oster has more than 200 inks just in his line. Okay. Yeah, I don't have extra dimension. I've pretty much reviewed all my colorverse that I have on. Like, I've already reviewed all those. Where was I in the article is the real question. Resorted. Okay. So, what's more amusing than these inks? Yeah, no, Baltic Memories is a good ink. It's a little smudgy, as you tend to get with those thicker, sheenier inks, but it's a good ink. But anyway, what's more interesting than the ink is the article I'm transcribing. Is about a pecan farmer that's mad at the Air Force. Because we're in quality local news stories. I mean, okay, it does seem to be legit, but because from what it seems like the Air Force is flying stuff and there's like random metal shards and debris raining down on his pecan trees. Which I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then he contacted the military, be like, yo, this is happening. And the military was like, just like, silence. It's like, okay, I'll pick them up. I don't know if they're toxic or not. Should I be like checking to see if my trees are poisoned? Nothing. Oh shit, I forgot to put down the extra paper. Oh well. I'm gonna do it now, so there's only a couple lines of spotting for the next page. You know it's bad when you like have to actually put down extra paper, because like, look, I haven't even written with the wet one yet and there's already spotting. On to the next page. So basically what this article is doing is saying, hey, there's random metal raining down. It's not just a random pecan farmer. It's the largest pecan farm in Georgia, or one of the largest ones. So if you buy Georgia pecans, they could have had random metal army shit raining down on them. It's fun times. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's real bad. But we knew that. The fact, that is the one thing I will give to these inks, is that they make every paper behave the same. It doesn't matter what paper you want to use. You could use 2-cent paper for the same, you could use a 2-cent notebook for the same ink and it'll behave the same as if it was a $20 notebook. Or probably even a Masubi would behave the same with this ink, because this ink is that bad. Okay. Okay. So we got that one done. That was disappointing. I was hoping that one would actually perform it decently. But nope. No dice. So I'm going to empty these. As per normal, I'm going to empty these out and then go clean them and then come back. We have Flying Squid Blue next. And then next week, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. If I'm going to do a triangle recap, or if I'm going to finish off these inks, or if I'm just going to be too damn tired and not do anything. So yeah, I am going to the Triangle Pen Show this weekend. After I do some car repairs, taking the car to the shop tomorrow. Thank you for everyone who's bought some of my stuff to help pay for that. I'm still selling stuff. I'm taking offers. If you are like, that's overpriced, tell me, and I will knock the price down. I didn't know how to price half this shit because I haven't sold any of it before. And I will not be offended if you say overpriced. I'll be like, cool, I didn't know. But yeah, so I'll be at Triangle next week, and then, so like I said, don't know if I'm going to do recap or whatnot. Anyway, I'm going to go clean these pens, and I will be back shortly. Okay, we're back. Yeah, this stuff was really sticky. It did not want to come out of the feet. It was, yeah, it was bad. So that stickiness that made it behave better also made it a bitch to clean. It's like, come on. You just have to be horrible in like every single aspect, really? Okay. Okay, so what we're doing next, I just got my stack of swab cards over here. As I do them, I put them into the coloring. But yeah, I just keep them over. So we have Flying Squid Blue, which actually looks like a really nice blue. But like I said, some of the colors in here are really nice, but the behavior is not the greatest. So we'll see how this goes. So we got our Flying Squid Blue container. Yeah, you can see the blue on that nib. It's a nice blue. And it's not just a straight up blue. It's got like a hint of green in it, it seems. This is the kind of blue that people go nuts for. Jacquardon Bleu Austral is in this category. As Rebel was talking earlier, Baltic Memories is in this category as well. KWZ Baltic Memories, both of which I have done reviews of. I don't know why. Well, you know, I do know why. My reviews seem to go in kind of color batches almost a little bit. It's because we're digging down, like I've mentioned before, we're digging down historically through my layers of ink samples, and I would buy, like I would go in the search for like purples, and then I would do blues, actually, or like I would do reds, or purples, or browns. I'd kind of have a bunch of different ones because I was trying out a bunch of different ones to see which ones I liked. Which means that, yeah, so we had this like tealish blue stage, and we had a purple stage, we had a brown stage. We're gonna get to a red stage soon. Once we get to the bottles are all in rainbow order, so it's gonna be rainbow order for the bottles. And there's gonna be a big section of greens because I have a lot of bottles of green ink. Okay. Okay. This one isn't as flat as the other ones. I'm noticing right away. That's why I looked at it real quick, because I was like, huh. This one just doesn't start off as interesting color and go super flat. Where was I on the land? There's in the article. Yeah, this is a good blue. You know, like I said, it's not quite as flat as the rest of them. It's still flat, but it's better. Yeah, that's actually really pretty. And so far it's not feathering. That's a first. We're on ink 6 before we get one that's not feathering in a dry pen on Tomei River. Okay. Now this one just like put a blob of ink on my desk too. Man, these inks love just like not staying in pens. Okay, yeah, that's feathering a little bit. This is actually performing better than the dark. Like I said, it's still very flat. It like, cause from the swab it looks like it could shade really prettily, but it's not. It's just sort of there, a flat blue. I mean, I guess some people want that in an ink, so maybe that was how they formulated them. I think it's really boring. Huh, apparently the shards of metal on the pecan farm are part of infrared decoy systems. Yeah. The color is pretty. Oh, there we go. There's the feathering. Let's see. Oh! That's real bad bleed through. Like, that's all over the place in the wet one. So it seems like this one didn't bleed through, but it feathered instead, and this one didn't really feather, but it bled through instead. On Tomoe River! This is great! Oh, Jesus. Apparently, the product is environmentally friendly. Not the inks. The, whatever is the metal shards that are raining down. The metal shards are coated with a special alloy that is environmentally friendly, so the pecan farmers should not be worried. Apparently the Air Force did survey to make sure they weren't poisoning anything. Sorry, I'm looking to see, like, did it shade a little bit? This one, again, is trying to shade. It's not working very well. The ink it is. The Air Force. Okay, apparently the EPA environment and the U.S. Environmental Protection Division has looked into these mysterious metal shards, and they were like, it's fine. Okay, so apparently they gave the farmers the paperwork being like, it's not bad. We looked into it. We are not poisoning your trees. But the metal is still raining down on the farm, so the guy's like, oh, maybe you could stop metal falling on my trees? Which, I mean, doesn't sound like an unreasonable request. Oh yeah, that's spread real bad with wet paper. What does it look like on the back? That's not terrible. Like I said, this shit seems to bleed through worse on Tomoe River than the other papers. It's amazing that way. Okay. Yeah. It's not great. Oh, yep. And we've got, like I said, that bleed through isn't as bad as it is on the Tomoe River. I'm sticking to my theory or my hypothesis that whatever the lubricant is, or maybe not even the lubricant, maybe some other aspect of the ink, the base is a chemical that eats through the Tomoe River coating. Because like I said, that's not unheard of. At least in like gel pens and stuff. Okay. Report provided. Oh, the environmental test that the Army, EPA, and like all the government entities did just tested for iron in the soil. Not anything else. They're just like, this is fine. Not any other potential toxin or anything. That's fine. That's probably why the pharma don't believe you. You gave them a nonsense report that doesn't say anything. So whatever this material is deactivates after combustion. Which, I mean, like, that means it probably just chemically reacts and becomes something else. Okay. It actually has less bad feathering on shit paper than it does on rhodia. I don't even know with this ink anymore. Just what is happening. But yeah, that's pretty bad. That's, you can like read it in a mirror bad. Just holy shit. Okay. So we've got one more week left of these horrid inks. And then we'll be back to the rest of the inks. Like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen next week. I might do a stream. But like I said, that's the day I'm probably going to be traveling back from the Triangle Pen Show. And I don't know when I'm going to get back based on traffic and all that. So that's a big question mark. So there may not be a stream next week. Or I might have a stream on Tuesday instead. I don't know. Look for your notifications. Look for tweets, etc. Yeah. And if you're going to be at the Triangle Pen Show, look for me. Say hi. I'm going to be wearing a green flower crown, as is the norm for me at these events. So come up, say hi. I'm the one in the green flower crown. If you want to buy stuff, I'm going to be selling stuff out of my bag. Like I said, to fund some car repairs. So please buy my stuff. I'll have, actually, if you've seen me writing with this pencil and you wonder what this weird pencil is, this is a Blackwing. This is a limited edition. I'm going to be selling a bunch of Blackwings out of my bag. If you've always wondered, you can buy them in singles. From me, at least. Yeah. And I'll also be wearing one of my pen buttons. So that's a big red button I'll be wearing. Like I said, I'll be wearing that. I'll be wearing my flower crown. Yeah, so come say hi. I'll be hanging around with various people. I know a bunch of people there. I was gonna come last year, but I got sick. Like the night before I was gonna drive to Triangle, started feeling weird, then I woke up the next day and I had like 103-degree fever. 102-degree fever. Either way, it was a bad fever, and I was like, I guess I am not going to the pen show. So yeah, so thank you for joining me, guys. Say hi at Triangle if you're gonna be there. Like, just come up, say hi, be like, you're that person. Hi. I'd be glad to talk to you about pens, pencils, whatever. I'll nerd out with you. It'll be fine. If you also want a friend to go around the show floor with, like if you haven't bought vintage before, I'll be happy to walk around the show floor with you. I am more than happy to do so. So yeah, if you need a pen show buddy, just come find me. Like I said, I'll be having my button. I'll have my lanyard of all the various buttons, and I'll be wearing a green flower crown. It's gonna be hard to miss. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week at some point. Bye.